Hello everyone and a warm welcome to this May 5th Scorpio full moon reading 2023. And as always, the full moon is about revelations, something that has been hidden, something that we maybe have not been ready to have a closer look at yet, but now it's out in the open. It's out there to reveal itself so that we can move on and have a closer look at what has been in our shadow sides, perhaps something that we may be haven't been ready to have a close look at, or something that we just maybe did haven't had a wish to have a closer look at. So everything is being revealed. It's out in the open, and this time we will have a full moon in Scorpio, which is said to be the most powerful sign of the zodiac. So here it's a very magnetic energy, intense energy, and powerful energy coming in. Here we're in the water element, so this is where we have to do with our intuition, our feelings, our psychic abilities, and something is coming up from the depth here. This is, as I mentioned before, a very intense energy. This is also where we find the ruling planet Pluto, which is about transformation and rebirth. This is really where we are taking a very deep dive into the most unconscious part of ourselves to see what is there to reveal itself right now throughout this full moon. So this is talking about patterns coming up from the past. Also, Pluto and Scorpio is about the past. The water energies are very much about remembrance and the past, also past lives, for example, something that is pointing back in time. So there could be something coming up here throughout this full moon that we have simply forgotten about, or that we have maybe had maybe this reluctance towards, we don't want to have a closer look at that. Now it's coming up in the open, and we simply need to address this. So this is also problems coming back to us, trying to remind us of that there is something in our incarnation pattern that we have not yet discovered, and there's something still there is still some work there left for us to do. So when we have noticed that, when we start to notice that, that is when we become aware of it, and that is when we can start to change it. So very deep transformational full moon, where I feel that there's a lot of rectifying stuff going out, especially regarding everything that has to do with the relationships of our lives that we regard as extremely important, okay? This is also where we find the 8th house, where we find Scorpio ruling. So another reminder that this is transformation time, okay? This is also where it's pointing to contracts we have in our lives with the persons who are the most important persons to us in our lives. So, or with whom that we share some kind of contract, okay? So Pluto is also pointing to finances and everything that is secret, everything that is going on underneath the surface. Also, the moon is a reference back to another water sign, the water sign of Cancer. So there is something going on here that could also be some kind of magic here, because that is also something that Scorpio is working with. This is our Kundalini energy. This is where we are getting a lot of healing also, and a lot of passion coming in. Things are being put together in a way that only an artist and only a magician could do. So there is something here we could learn about the magic in life, okay? Things being woven together in the most wonderful way, and sometimes things are showing up for us as something that we thought was impossible, but all of a sudden everything is just being revealed. It's coming out in the open with this full moon to show us, no, things could actually take another turn in a different direction, something that could be quite magical. So let's Let's have a look at the two card decks that I've chosen for this Pick a Deck reading. There is card deck number 1 and card deck number 2 to choose from. So I have left some timestamps below so that you can go with the card deck that you feel speaks to you the most. Maybe you want to go with both of them, or maybe you just want to go with one of them. So maybe you want to pause the video to really sit and reflect on which card deck is your Scorpio full moon card deck this time. So as I mentioned before, there are timestamps down below. I will begin now by reading on card deck number 1. Enjoy! And welcome to those of you who have chosen to go with this card deck. We have this beautiful pentagram and the tree of life going on here. Very abundant energy. So let's see what word is coming out for you. Which keyword is your word here for this full moon? Let's see what's coming out for you guys. What is going on here? What is your key word? And also maybe you feel that during this full moon you have a greater need of meditation, of slowing down. We are in the water element here. We're diving deep into our emotions. Stuff from the past could come up. And so sometimes it triggers our emotions quite intensely. So maybe you want to reflect a little bit on what's going on emotionally as well. So let's have a look at your word, boundaries. Okay, here we have a reference to the crown chakra, an aura here, or an orb, and also we have the symbol of eternity going on here. So this is really about you learning how to maybe say no and say, this is not how I feel. I feel something different. I'm going to go with that. So I feel that for many of you, let's put it up here. For many of you, you are very sensitive, and maybe it has been hard for you to go with that. You know, what is going on inside of me? Why do I feel the way I do? Sometimes maybe your psychic abilities have been a major issue, but on a very private level. It's not something that you have been sharing with other people. It's something that you have just held to yourself. So maybe now it's time for you to let yourself shine with your consciousness, with your psychic abilities, with the way you use your intuition as a guide to a more authentic life, actually, perhaps even a happier life. Okay, so let's pull an astrology card to see where this energy is showing up for you. How is this energy showing up for you? And this is also where you can benefit from having a look in your own personal chart to see where you have these astrological energies going on, to find out how or where you need to be more responsible to put up your boundaries. Let's see what's coming out for you here. Okay. Okay. Let's pull a card from the top of the deck. And here we have a reference to a zodiac sign, which means this is pointing to the energy that you are surrounded by throughout this full moon. So let's see. Oh, we have Pisces, another water sign. So this is about you being completely and utterly, endlessly loving, and endlessly forgiving. You are really working with the truth here. You are a master healer. You are a very mature person. And throughout this full moon, I feel that you will step really much into your truth, all of it. And that is why you need to put up your boundaries, because in Pisces we're swimming in this way and in that way, like we can see here symbolized by the two fish. Sometimes you're going with those people who think that, and sometimes you're going with other people who think that, or living that kind of life. And here you can be really confused sometimes, and sometimes it's also difficult for you to find out what are my own feelings about this and what are the feelings of others. So this is really a time for you to have a closer look at where it is that you say yes too often, or where you just don't care, or where you feel numb, or where you feel manipulated, since also Scorpio and Pluto can be very manipulating energies if we choose to give out our own power instead of taking it back to ourselves. So I feel that this is time for you that you can benefit from really taking back your power, okay? And ask yourself, how do I really feel about these people? Since we're in the 8th house here throughout the full moon, how do I really feel about my job? How do I really feel about my partner? How do I really feel about my family and my friends? And anyone else who may play a significant role for you. Really have a closer look at that, and also to see where you may have been manipulated, where you have not been able to put up your boundaries. So we cannot always be nice people. This doesn't mean that it's changing you in your core. You will still be endlessly loving and forgiving. It's not about that. But it's really about where people are trying to control you and take that kind of loving energy into their own, perhaps less fortunate energy system, to use that to their own advantage, okay? So this is not changing you, it's just changing the way you are going about your own energy. So let's have a card to see what this is all overall about. What is the theme here? What is the issue here? What is at stake here? And also, of course, there can be a lot about prior lifetimes coming up for you, especially since you have Pisces going here alongside with Scorpio. You may have an enormous deep dive into your feelings, into something that you have experienced before, but in an earlier lifetime. So really look into that through regression or meditation, as I mentioned in the beginning. Really, maybe you want to just keep to yourself throughout this full moon to learn more about your own feelings. Why am I feeling like this? Is this my own? Is this something I need to work with inside of me? Or is it something that I've been taking that someone else has put upon me? Really break out of that. Okay, the cards just keep coming out a lot, so I feel that a lot is going on. Maybe you have been confused, a lot has been going on in your 8th house with these people, okay? So let's just give the cards a last shuffle here. Okay, let's pull the card from the top of the deck. And here we have health, yes. Because in Pisces, we also have got to do with physical as well as mental health. And here we also have the snake, just like we did in Scorpio, with the card we had from the astrology deck. So this is about healing, deep healing for you, maybe on a mental level and on a physical level. here you're really going to find out how much your body responds to what you feel and what you think. And this is why we need to take extra good care of ourselves in Pisces, because here we are extremely sensitive and we can even get allergic reactions here. I'm sorry about the cards, then I'll try to put them up once again here, because this is a map of the moon that I'm using this time. This is why it makes it a little bit hard. Okay, so this is about your health, mental health, physical health, and also have a closer look at your body. What is going on? Do we have some allergic responses? Because that could really come from what you are feeling and what you're thinking, okay? So a deeper, closer look at your health at this time. Some of you have really been manipulated in your 8th house, in your relationships, where you have been regarding people as extremely important to you, but it seems as if this is really affecting your health. So you really need to learn how to put up your boundaries, and also maybe try to imagine, use your imagination. That's what it's for. That's where spirituality is coming in. That's how the divine is speaking to us. So really move more into your psychic abilities and imagine your aura field expand when it is that you need to protect yourself. Sometimes we don't have to do it through words and direct action. Sometimes imagining our aura field and expanding it by putting out our own energy in that field and really fill it up. That's sometimes all it takes to make people understand that, well, you can go this far, but you're not gonna go beyond this boundary I'm putting up here, okay? They can simply sense from your presence in a room by doing this that, okay, I can't manipulate you anymore. I can't tell you this and that and just make you do stuff that I want, okay? So let's pull a personal card to see what's coming out here. We have one card out for you. Card number 20. Of course, remember to go with the words also and the colors of these cards and the numbers wherever you feel it's leading you, because that's an extra message just for you. So here we have card number 20 pointing to house. So maybe this is pointing to where you have your safety zone, okay? You need to put up some kind of fence here. You need to stand in your light. We have also the full moon here, right? So you are coming home to yourself throughout this full moon. You're really putting up the guard here, and you are going back into your own consciousness, your own awareness. You're standing strong in your own tall light. So stand tall, okay? Be your own home. Okay, be at home within yourself. You are safe and sound, okay? But you need to work with this energy as well. Things are just not gonna be fixed in our lives. We also need to do something, whether it's taking direct action or it's about words, through words, or just expanding your aura field. You really need to figure out how you're going to do this, because you're going to need it, okay? But you're really standing strong here. You're coming home to yourself. And whenever this fence is put up and things are rectified, I feel, you are standing out as someone who is tall and proud, and you are standing your ground, okay? This house cannot be moved around anymore, okay? So really a strong message for you here also as well. And of course, some of you could also be looking for a new place to stay, of course, quite materialistically, looking for a new home. Maybe for some of you, you are going through divorce, or you are moving out of an apartment with a friend, or maybe 2 or 3 other friends, where you're breaking out of that, where you're saying no more. I want to find my own place where I can be whomever I am. So also have a closer look at that as well. Can be that for some of you, maybe you have an issue with your landlord at this point, maybe. That could also be a contract we have in the 8th house, so really have a closer look at that as well. Maybe there's something you want to tell them about your accommodation, that maybe there is something going on there that makes you simply sick. So that could also be an issue here, and it could also be, of course, that the environment, the social environment that you are in your house right now, is physically is really affecting you. Okay, so there could be something allergic here going on, if it's something materialistically with your accommodation, where it's not healthy for you to live, or socially. Okay, so have a closer look at that as well. Let's pull some tarot to see if we can get some more information out on this. Yeah, it seems as if there's a lot going on in your lives in this area. Okay, it's a very important full moon. Okay, we have one card out. Let's see if we have another card. Okay, 2 cards out for you guys. Let's have a look at them. Okay, we have 2 cards from the Major Arcana, which is pointing to the bigger energies coming in for you. And here you actually have card number 18 pointing to the moon. Normally it looks like this, talking about our dreams and the occult. But here it's in reverse. So this, to me, in my readings, it's talking about cleansing time. That something is being cleansed out. Again, back to the moon and our water, the water in our body, pointing to maybe vaccines, medicine, fever, viruses, stuff like that. Or something that is just ill, okay? And also back to your social environment. Perhaps there's something that needs to be cleansed out here, because watch out here for flattery and people telling lies, not being honest, things are blurry. So there's a great cleanse out happening here. And the other card coming out is card number 1. It's time for new beginnings. And here also we have the Magician through card number 1, pointing also to Scorpio energies, where we have this magic going on, okay? So this is magical times. There's a lot of cleansing out going on in you emotionally, where something could also have been affecting your mental health and your physical health as well. But it is time now for that to be cleansed out once and for all. And with this full moon meeting up with the South Node, I mean a really deep cleanse out once and for all. Pluto is helping you here to move on into new beginnings and promise you that you will never go back to that situation ever again, okay? So a deep cleanse out, and I feel that there is, like, this is spot on for Pluto and Scorpio energies here. A great cleanse out, a great healing coming in, so that new passion can come into your life. New beginnings can reach the surface, and you can start over again. Maybe for some of you, you simply need, you even need to make a physical move, a materialistic move to a new place. But for all of you, it's about you moving back into yourself, where you feel your safety zone, because with the moon ruling the 4th house of the zodiac, it's about our roots, it's about coming back to ourselves, okay? And this is also pointing to our routines in life with the moon. So there are definitely routines, traditions, patterns changing here for you, that Pluto now is showing you why these problems keep coming back to you. It's time now for that final cleanse off, so that you can start over again, that you can start to come into the magic of life, okay? So let's pull you guys a final healing card here, and let's see what card is coming out for you? What color can you focus on that will help you heal through these deep transformational times in your life? Which color? Okay, we have 3 colors coming out here, so yeah, a lot is going on in your life. Okay, let's have a look at the first card, pink. Number 4, let love in. To me, these are tulips, but maybe for you it's a different flower. Go with that. But this is green and pink, pointing to your heart chakra. Okay, very, very emotional full moon. Of course, it is for all of us, but this is really pointing to you. Let love in. Focus on that you are a loving creature inside out. Okay, and by letting more love in, you will automatically cleanse out all that is not of a loving character in your life. Card number 4. Okay, I'll put it up here. Next card out for you. You can read these cards together. They came out together. You can read them separately, okay? Card number 19. So this could also be the number 10, 1, or 0. But this is peach color. Inhale a breath of life. Okay, remember to also give yourself a break once in a while. Seek your own company here. I'm getting the picture of being in a spa, something like that, where we are in water. Since this is a very watery full moon, maybe go to the sea, a lake, or a spa, something like that, so that it reminds you of your own feeling, your own psychic abilities and intuition here. But remember maybe to light up a candle for yourself, okay? Because peach is a very juicy energy, okay? So inhale a breath of life. Let love into your heart. You deserve it. And also for you to do something to make these new beginnings happen, okay? Nothing is coming nothing is beginning just out of the blue. It needs us to feed that kind of energy as well. So remember that you are a co-creator of that, okay? Also back to the light here in our inner flame, back to spirit. Final card out for you guys is Ruby, card number 8, rejuvenate your body. Yes, again, back to this health issue. Something is going on physically for you, definitely. Really have a closer look at where does that come from. Have a closer look at your thinking patterns or your feelings at this time. But this is tricky because this is also about using our psychic abilities, and to be able to use them, I also feel that sometimes we need to have a closer look psychologically what's going on inside of us and see how that all of that is affecting your body. Now it's the time really to rejuvenate your body, to come back to the root. Here through the red color, it's pointing to our root chakra, of course, back to the roots, to the root of it all, okay? So remember that as well. So I hope that these color will assist you. Okay, let's put it down here. That these color will assist you so that you can really heal on whatever it is that's been going on in this 8th house, where you are sharing deep contracts with other people in your life. So tune into love. This seems to be your mantra. Put up your boundaries, expand your aura field, fill it up with your own loving energy, and also remember to breathe, okay? That is when we really seriously get into touch with the rhythm of the universe, okay? And the rhythm of where we actually come from. So back to your roots also again with number 8. There is some kind of flow going on here as well. We have the number 8 here, just a horizontal 8. Okay, so remember that as well. This is about eternity with the water going on here. You are going way back in time. These are problems that you've been dealing with for a long time. I feel many years for for many of you out there. And now is the time to finally recognize that and to do something about it, okay? So I will say, follow your heart, okay? And see how that is leading automatically to putting up your boundaries in a very natural way. And maybe this is going to feel even easier than you have imagined, okay? Sometimes it's enough just to be who we are, to be and stay in our light, okay? So remember that for this full moon. I'm wishing you all the best out there. Take great care of yourselves. Thank you so much for tuning in, and bye for now. And a big welcome to all of those of you who have chosen to go with card deck number 2. So let's see what your keyword is going to be throughout this full moon in Scorpio. So maybe you feel that there's a lot coming up from the past, perhaps to trigger your emotions. So really have a closer look at that whenever it shows up, because Pluto is about incarnation patterns. So it keeps presenting to us problems or issues that we have not yet discovered within ourselves. So have a closer look at that if you feel that that is the issue for you. Okay, so let's have a closer look at these two cards coming out for you. We have card number 4, Spirit of Place. Okay, so that seems to be one mantra for you. And the other card coming out is card number 28, talking about movement. So remember to go with the colors, numbers, and the words on these cards wherever they are leading you intuitively, because that could be an extra message just for you. So this is really about remembering now that no matter where we move in life, there is always a spirit where we come, where we arrive at. And for you, I feel that since we have the autumn going on here with the leaves here falling down from the branches of this old tree, to me it seems like an old oak tree, very old, that something is, maybe you are done with something in your life. It's autumn. It's transformation time, which Scorpio is also showing us. It's time to let something fall away. And since there is a pointing to the tree here and nature, I feel that there could be something going on in perhaps your mother lineage, but definitely something going back that is pointing back to your roots. So I feel that this is pointing to your family very much, and that is now time to get on the move here. This is also a very emotional full moon, as I mentioned before, so there could be something here where you are moving away from someone emotionally, or maybe you are even leaving, you know, you're moving to a different place or different state, different country, something like that. But there is something that needs to move here. There is something that cannot stay the same. And so let's pull you guys an astrology card to see where this energy is showing up for you. And this is also where you would benefit from having a look in your own chart to see where you have this or these astrological energies. So let's have a look at where this is going on for you. Something where you feel you are done. And remember that the spirit is always present. No matter where we live, there is always a spirit, and maybe a certain spirit. But I feel that spirit is always with you here, no matter where you are moving to or whatever emotionally you are going through throughout this full moon. Remember, spirit is always with you. We are also part of spirit. We can never be apart from that. That's just an illusion if we think that we can separate ourselves from that. And I'm also getting that, since we're now going into the astrology, that number 2 and number 8 could be a reference to the 2nd and the 8th house, since Scorpio is pointing to the 8th house where it is ruling. And opposite of the 8th house in the chart is house number 2, which is about self-sustainability. Okay, so house number 8 is about how we're sharing our resources with others, sharing contracts and stuff like that. But house number 2 is really about yourself. How are you conducting yourself materialistically and also with your self-worth? There is something here of self-sustainability that I'm being led to here. So maybe it means a lot for you right now that maybe some of you are leaving home, or you are leaving the home you've been staying in for a very long time. Maybe you're going out on your own, or contracts are being transformed. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Let's just give the cards a last shuffle here. Okay, let's pull the card from the top of the deck. And here we have a zodiac sign going on. So this is the energy that you're surrounded by throughout this full moon, okay? So let's have a look at that. Ooh, and we got Aquarius. So there is a lot of freedom going on for you. This is maybe also pointing to something that you've been thinking about for a long time, because here we're in the air element, pointing to our thinking processes, ideas coming in, also communication. So you're definitely coming out into much more freedom. And I will say this is also the 11th house we have here with Aquarius going on, and Uranus energies, which is in the zodiac sign of Taurus, the sister sign of Scorpio, pointing to the North Node, where we have a North Node right now, and we have the South Node in Scorpio. So there is something that is being rectified from the past, from the South Node, coming out in the open now throughout the full moon in Scorpio, to lead the way to your final destination or your destiny. Okay, so this is a very electrifying full moon for you guys. You feel that this is actually igniting something within you. This is like, you feel eccentric here, okay? Where you're coming out to max freedom. You're coming out into more development. There could also be a lot of ideas going on that you would like to work with, where you are developing something. This is pointing to science, development, digital solutions, and also pointing to spacecraft. It's also actually pointed to telepathy and astrology. So there could be something going on there for you guys as well. But that's what I'm picking up on, okay? So you're coming out in much more freedom. and also seeking like-minded people. That's also something we love to deal with in Aquarius. This is like-minded people coming together, sharing ideas, being social, and figuring out where to go in the future. This is also about cause and effect. So I feel that this is like wishing upon a star, where things are now coming, showing up for you. Your dreams are coming to you, something that you've been thinking about a lot, and finally it's your final wish here coming true. So really have a focus on that emotionally, because I feel that it's definitely your emotions that are very essential for you, leading the way to your freedom, to your future, which is also something that we got going in Aquarius. I'm sorry, my nose is running right now. So this is always showing up for me when the energies are really running. There's a lot of movement for you here, definitely. And just remember that Pluto also can put up a lot of fear inside of us and anxiety over changing something, because we know what we have at hand, but we don't know what we have in the future, right? We don't know where this will lead us to. But just know that that's okay. Have that fear, go through it, but just be aware of that. This is because this movement or this change is triggering you so much that it is questioning you in your deepest unconsciousness. Okay, is this the right thing? Can I do this? Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't have money enough, since we also have to do with finances in Scorpio. But just know what it is. It's Pluto. It's triggering a lot of fear within you. But when you do that, when you choose to go through this movement anyway, despite of your fear for what kind of, is this the right place? We can see how this person, she's looking in the other direction. Do I even dare dream about that kind of future? Will I meet like-minded people? And yes, you will, but you have to conquer your fear, okay? So also, since we have the full moon here right now in the home zodiac sign of the moon, where we find Cancer, we have Mars at this moment, and Mars is the warrior, and Mars is conquering unknown territory, and I feel a lot of that coming into your system here. Remember that you need to conquer this fear. You can do this, yeah, a lot of freedom coming in for you guys. So let's pull a card to see what this issue is all about. What is the issue here going on? Let's just give the cards a final shuffle. Okay, we're gonna pull the card from the top of the deck, and let's see here. Oh, so this has got to do with your spouse. Okay, so for some of you, maybe you're already married. This could be pointing to also those of you who have been in a relationship for a long time. And since we are dealing with the 8th house here with this full moon in Scorpio, there's definitely going to be a more freedom-like ambience between you, much more freedom. For some of you, of course, you could be breaking free from this marriage if that's what you want. But I feel for many of you, you are taking this to the next level, actually. Many of you may find your spouse throughout this full moon, so have a focus on that if you are out and about during the full moon. So maybe you'll find the person who is like-minded, the person who makes you feel free, where you can set each other free. Very beautiful card here, okay? For those of you who are in a relationship here, there could be some kind of movement. Maybe you are going to move into a place where you find new groups of friends, and where you just feel that you're more free, and where you can work in a different way perhaps, but where you are definitely coming out into your dreams here with your spouse. Okay, so there's a lot of movement here with For those of you who have some serious relationship contracts going on here, we do have that in the 8th house, but for many of you, it's pointing to very, I feel, long-term relationships. And for some of you, a few of you, maybe you will find your spouse, okay, during this full moon. But definitely things are moving for you guys. And also where to plant your roots. Maybe you'll finally know where to do that. You'll finally know where to go and do that. So let's pull some personal cards to see if we can have some more information about this. Ooh, we have one card out already. Let's see if there are other cards out. Okay, so we have one card out for you, number 17, and I was just like to mention that in the tarot, card number 17 is pointing to the star card, which is pointing to Aquarius, okay? But there is a gift coming in for you here. Okay, 1 plus 7 is also 8, again pointing to the 8th house, so we have 8 and 8 here going on. There is a gift coming in for you guys here. It's like something that you've been wishing for a long time, and finally, wow, boom, here, I'm handing it to you. And with Pluto energies, it can be something that's been hidden for you. Maybe you've been working very hard in one direction, and all of a sudden, through this full moon where we have Uranus in Taurus, where we have the North Node in Taurus again being the sister sign of Scorpio, as I mentioned before, there could be these sudden changes. Okay, this is an air element or an air energy, very swift energy. So there could be something changing like this. Okay, very swift, very fast moving energy. You thought things were going in one direction, and boom, all of a sudden your gift is here. Okay, something you thought wasn't possible, again in Scorpio energy, something that's been hidden from you, something that you've been waiting for, something that has been blurry. Finally, it's coming up to the surface. It's being handed to you. It's wishing upon a star. Right. Wow. Okay, so let's pull you guys some tarot cards to see if we can have some more specific information about this. So you guys really have a lot in common. You're talking a lot about this and that. Maybe you're both interested in some kind of specific science. And finally, some of your ideas are coming out in the open. It's being handed to you, okay? Okay, we have one card out. Let's have a look at that. Let's see if there are other cards coming out for you. Okay, we have 3 cards. The 2 last cards, they came out on their own, or they came out together, yeah. So the first card out is 4 of Cups, okay? So this is talking to your feelings, and that is perfectly in alignment with Scorpio energies, pointing to our intuitions, our intuition, our feelings, our psychic abilities, our sensitivity. 4 of Cups is talking about growth, harmony. You could expand here also in those areas where you are very closely linked together emotionally. You are growing here, coming into harmony, and also maybe you're coming into new acquaintances. Again, perfectly back to the group over here on the Aquarius cards. Maybe you are seeking, you're seeking like-minded people, and you're coming into new acquaintances, okay? But a very loving energy here. 4 is a very stable number. Again, it's like the gift coming from heaven. It's being handed to you. We can see how we have 2 hands here. 2 hands in this picture and a hand in this one. 3 hands, okay. It's being handed to you. And it is going to make you grow together as a couple emotionally. What a beautiful, stable energy coming in for you. Wow. Let's put that up over here. Okay, so the 2 next cards, they came out together. Let's have a closer look at them. And first of all, we have 4 of Swords. So a reference back to all the air zodiac signs. This is of course a reference to all the water zodiac signs, so maybe you want to check that out in your chart as well. But here we have swords coming out, 4 of swords, which is pointing to you keeping to your own battles, keeping to your own thinking patterns, keeping close to your own ideas, laying down the sword here, take a rest, move back into your own mental energy here, concentrate and focus on you, okay? Focus on your own work that is being put at hand, because here we also have the pilgrim, the world citizen. You are traveling out there. I feel that you may be a gift. Whatever's going on between you is a gift to the world as well. So this is also where we are going out and about. We are being seen here. We are socializing, okay? But keep to your own battles now. Keep to your own ideas. Keep to your own work that is put at hand, okay? Rest maybe if you need to. Maybe there's because there's a lot of strength coming in here. Card number 8, we have the strength card coming in here for you. On a mental level, you are very, very strong, but you need to keep to your own battles. Don't interfere with other people's battles and wherever they are in their life. Stay focused here. Do your own mental work here. Stay to yourself, okay? Because you are very, very strong together here, okay? And here we also have another reference to the card, the house number 8. So we have that 3 times now. So your relationship is extremely important. The contract you have with each other, whether you're married or not, it's like you have some kind of agreement going on, whether you're married or not, of a very mental friendly character, where you are sharing something on a mental level, okay? That is what makes you courageous. That is where you have some kind of self-mastery going on, okay? That is where you also have some kind of work to do, okay? So stay true to that. Keep to your own work, whatever that may be, because you are really coming into harmony here. You are growing in using your psychic abilities and your intuition, and maybe even your aura field is growing here as well. So again, back to Mars in Cancer right now as I'm doing this reading, and where it will be on this full moon. So there is a lot going on in your aura field as well. I feel that you are growing in that as well emotionally. It's like Mars is giving you the courage to move on, okay, to ignite something within you that makes you grow, okay? But keep to your own battles. Mars is also the conqueror. He's the warrior, and he is fighting for what he wants. He has the courage to move on. He is a leader, okay? So really make sure that you do that in your own area, whatever it is that you are interested in, whatever it is that you are working with, whatever it is that seems to be taking up your mental energy, okay? So let's pull you guys a final healing card to see where you can look for healing, in which direction, which color can you focus on that will help you move through this time of deep transformation. It's like finally you're coming out in the open, you're breaking free of something here as a couple. You're moving into different levels of awareness. Also, I feel you are very free, okay? So remember that when you are leaving one level, energy level, that will always trigger a lot of fear. But any place you're moving to, there will always be a spirit. There will always be someone to receive you, okay? Very beautiful. We have one card coming out for you guys, and we got Rose. Number 6 is reminding us of that we are cosmic creatures, okay? So this Rose is pointing to that you guys are attracting a relationship. So for those of you who are not yet in a relationship, I'll pull a different card, another card for those of you who actually are, because I feel that we need some more information on that, okay? But for those of you who are single, who are not in a relationship, or maybe living without a family or friends, something like that, you will definitely attract new relationships right now. Definitely. You are growing in that field, okay? You are growing in that field. You're coming much more into emotional harmony throughout this full moon in that area, okay? So this could, in my personal readings, this card is always pointing to that we are attracting also maybe a relationship from the other side, okay? Someone whom we have known in this life, someone who have been mortal for us in this dimension, since it's pointing to blood, and yeah, to me it's mortal. So maybe this is also for those of you who feel that you're expanding on your psychic abilities, that you're starting to draw in relationships that you've had with someone in this lifetime, in this dimension, but who has crossed over. Okay, also pay attention to that. For those of you who are single, you will definitely attract a new relationship here. And it can also be friendship, or maybe of a more familiar kind. But definitely with someone whom you share the same ideas, where you communicate, where your communication is in complete alignment with each other, okay? So let's pull a card for those of you who are actually in this long-time relationship, and perhaps maybe you're even married and has been for a long time. Let's see what's up for you. Okay. 2 cards coming out here for you. Card number 21 and card number 14, okay? Gold and bronze, okay? You are really a power couple, okay? Gold is about attracting abundance. Bronze is about strengthening your body, okay? So when you are 2, 1, 2, you make a perfect number 3, 2 plus 1, okay? You guys are a power couple, okay? You are stronger when you are together. You can take your battles against whatever it is you need to fight for when you are 2. Back to the strength card, okay? You are very strong on a mental level, okay? And I feel that will give you the physical strength to actually put these ideas into something real, it's authentic. That's also what we got going in Aquarius. You are very authentic, and you can put these ideas into reality, okay? You are really attracting abundance here. You are gold. You are gold. And gold is also pointing to time traveling, for example, or the occult, alchemy. So maybe for some of you, you are working together on that as well, something occult, okay, where you are working things out in the most magical ways, okay, throughout this Scorpio full moon, which is, of course, also about healing passion and doing some kind of magic tricks in life, or understanding how things go about when we start to focus more on alchemy, for example, mixing things together so that magic is the result, is going to be the result of that. Okay, so that was what I had for those of you who's in a long-time relationship, and maybe you're even married. But I hope that this full moon will give you a lot of transformation. This is definitely leading into much more freedom wherever or however your personal situation may be, your social situation. You are definitely coming out into more friendship and freedom and openness and like-mindedness. Wow, this is really going to be like wishing upon a star. So really remember where it is that you have your mental focus right now, because that is exactly what you are going to experience, okay? This is pretty much about awareness also. So I'm gonna wish you a very happy full moon out there. Thank you so much for tuning in and stopping by, and thanks, and bye for now.